sometimes, your voice gonna carry. You're gonna have to lay down the law. Now, in a situation like this, if I'm the man of this house, and I don't believe in hitting the child, but I believe in discipline and structure. Now taking on this role, am I supposed to allow another man's theory or the way that they do things take over my house?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Konversations. I am your host, Kyra. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody had a beautiful, wonderful, and exciting day. I'm not going to say I did, but I'm still here, so I will not complain. We are very, very late today because, we all have issues in life. So we're going to hurry up and get this party started. Let's bring Mr. Roshawn Davis on.
What do you got going on? What you got going on?
What I got going on?
You look like Prince in the Revolution or something.
Hey, ain't it his birthday?
I like it.
I do too.
Oh, God. And the deacon. Hello, everybody. I won't be rude. Hello, everybody. Love you.
I was about to say, you don't know how to greet folk?
They know I love them. They
no,
do. It was a long day. It's a long day.
Sean loves me, y'all.
I'm back from Jamaica. It was a nice time. Now I'm back.
From Jamaica, and he left that damn accent down there too.
I did. I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Georgia next week. So, hey, man. I don't know. I used to do country accents. So I can't do it. Sorry. Never mind.
You want to go back?
Scratch that.
You want to go back to Jamaica?
I'm going back. But I don't have a Georgia accent. So let's bring the deacon up.
Okay, everybody. We can't do this without the man of the hour, Mr. Deacon.
You giving off? I get Purple Rain. I get the whole print.
Yeah.
I see it.
Y'all is a bunch of haters. Get up
I see it. I'm sorry. I see it.
Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
Do.
They mad because they can't pull it off.
You giving off Lord Farquhar.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, God. Oh, God. She ain't feeling you right now.
She ain't paying me no mind.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
It's the emperor from Shrek, the short guy who was trying to marry Shrek's wife.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, but my fingers said it for me.
God, that made it even worse.
That's okay. We all know I come from the streets.
Look at Pink.
Everybody.
We ain't seen Pink in like 90 years. She finally came back.
Pinky said, "The hell with y'all."
I ain't even do nothing.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you, Pinky. This is why
What?
women. This is the reason why women stick together.
Yeah.
Because she called it a silk press realness.
No,
What's that?
you
What's
just
the
you just missed the whole thing. Get out of here.
what's
She
the
said,
silk press
"Okay,
realness?
Kyra, silk press realness looking good." What the heck is a silk press realness?
It's a girl thing. You wouldn't know what it is.
Y'all,
Edu- educate
oh,
us.
now when we came on and
it's a
said you
girl
giving
thing.
off prints, we was horrible. But she could tell she could call you silk press realness, and you like, thank you, sis.
It's a woman thing. It's a woman thing. Stop
Yeah.
hating.
I'm glad this conversation is about to happen because enough's enough.
I can't.
Do I need to recline my
Thank
seat?
you, Miss
I'm gonna
Darlene.
recline. I'm gonna recline my seat and then just enjoy this.
You gonna recline? Oh,
We ain't gonna be here on too long because I already yawned. This is my second yawn, so
oh
Well,
Lord.
no.
Y'all already know what that mean.
you only got about 3 more before this camera
Y'all
cut off.
already know what that mean. All right, beautiful people. Today's conversation or topic, as y'all see scrolling across, it's about accountability.
What's that?
Something that many don't subscribe to. Many do not subscribe to accountability. Many like to take it as you're being attacked for accountability. And we're just here to tell you that it's not an attack. Accountability is a beautiful thing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Roshan.
I always get thrown under the bus. We're not going to a video.
No, let's talk to you first. Then we can go into a video.
This is the. Oh,
You fresh out of Jamaica. You should be relaxed, reserved. You know, you
I should
got
be
your thoughts
last.
together. You should be ready for this.
I should be last. Work me back in the circle.
You should be the first one standing.
Mm.
What are your thoughts about accountability, Sean?
Mm.
Let us hear them.
First thing coming to mind is those who are not ready to take responsibility for their actions take accountability as an attack. That is as true as you gonna get. I think there's person-to-person accountability, there's worldly accountability, there's accountability in occupation, in the roads being built, everything. There's accountability in everything. It's just when people don't want to take responsibility for their actions is when accountability comes into play. That's what I truly believe. There can be no growth without accountability. If you can't be coachable, if you can't be teachable, if you can't have corrective criticism, there's no accountability because nobody can tell you nothing. If you're perfect, there's nothing to fix. But you have to be a person, and sometimes the person have to, depending on who you are, shape the criticism the way that you can accept it. But if you can never take corrective criticism, it's going to be hard for you to take accountability because you don't see yourself like there's a thing called the blind self where everybody can see you, but you can't see you. You just going through life. But you really can't see you, but everybody else can. But if you have enough self-awareness, somebody can tell you something and give you instruction or give you direction, and you be able to take that to reshape and restructure to better the situation that you're dealing with or that you're in or what you're trying to create, which a lot of people fail to really be able to accept because they lack accountability. My take initially.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Davis. Now we could go into a video.
See,
An apology is not necessarily accountability. And many times we accept someone's apology because we want reconciliation in the relationship so badly, or we want the relationship to match an image in our mind, and we can accept apologies without demanding accountability. But accepting an apology too quickly doesn't always mean that the other person is accountable. And not accepting an apology quickly doesn't mean that you're immature or holding on to an offense. An apology must be coupled with accountability, and accountability is the action of the words. I apologize. I want to see your apology carried out by the way that you walk and the way that you live. So I hear your apology, but I pay attention to your walk after the apology. Because I'm sorry can't heal my heart. I'm sorry can't heal the wound. I'm sorry can't heal the offense. But your changed behavior can begin the process. So if you don't have changed behavior, you can keep the apology.
That's a praise dance right there.
You talk the whole time. Yes,
Keep your
because you won't feel accountable unless you sit on the ability of the accounts.
That's a whole sermon.
Make it payable to the person you accounted for.
It's a whole sermon. All right, Debbie. So what's your thoughts about accountability? What are you feeling like?
I feel like accountability is lost in human nature, by human nature. I feel that a person um, is a natural occurrence to not hold yourself accountable or to not tap into accountability, because when you are because we believe and we know that for every action there's a reaction. So no matter what my reaction is, there was an action that started off that made my reaction happen. So therefore, no matter what you say, I'm going to resort back to, well, that this is the reason why this happened, rather than forgetting about the action and focus on what my reaction was and holding myself accountable to my reaction rather than trying to blame it on the next person because of what they did.
Okay. Okay. I understand. I ain't with it, but I understand.
Yeah, that's kind of blanket, but I get what you're saying.
I get it.
So
'Cause
where you at with this?
I'm petty. Accountability is just simple. If you feel as though holding yourself accountable for your actions and what you do to others and how you treat others, and that there's nothing wrong with it, then you have a problem with looking at yourself in the mirror. It's just that simple. That's why you feel like you're being attacked. And every little thing and everything somebody say to you is because you don't want to take a closer look in the mirror. Like, it ain't always the other person that's the problem, it's you. So, yeah. That's the one thing. That's what people don't want to hear. That is you. Is your ass. It's you. Change behavior changes a lot of things.
But
So
what changes? What changes the
look
behavior?
at yourself in the mirror. If somebody is constantly saying the same thing over and over and over and over to you, right? When do you start to believe that it's not them, it's you? Do you
You know,
ever?
I got an idea, but I'll wait.
I'm just saying, when do you discover the fact that nobody's picking on you?
Like I said, I got ideas, but I'll wait. I want to hear, you know,
Well, what's your idea?
what you got.
What's your idea? Speak your mind.
So I just wanted everybody to get it out because I just wanted to, you know,
What you waiting for an explosion?
definitely ain't waiting for no explosion.
We ain't trying to be here all night, Sean. Let it out.
No, I'm just speaking on you dealing with accountability. When there's a lack of consequences, it creates a lack of responsibility and entitlement. When there's no consequences or lack of consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're held accountable, that's like being in civil service, right? Police and fire is paramilitary. So you have military, you have police and fire, you have EMS, you have dispatch, blah 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 blah. You know, you screw up in the military, you know, you can go to the brig, right? You screw up in police and fire, you may get suspended or, you know, get written up. You get, you know, you get jammed up in EMS, you just may get talked to or you just go to another company.
All right, Jessica.
So as it dwindle down, the consequences lesser because of the severity of, you know, the positions or the priority of the positions that you're in. Because the military can't have, you know, a bunch of people, you know, screwing up because of, you know, how prestige it is and the priorities. Police and fire will be next, and then EMS will be after that.
Mm-hmm.
So your consequences are more stern as you go up that ladder. So I believe the more consequences that you have, you know, the lesser you probably get the nonsense, what will bring you more accountability and less entitlement. You know what I mean? Like you look at, like I wrote down some stuff. Like you take men and women that get charged in court, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a broader scale, women get charged lesser than men. They get lesser charges than men.
Facts.
Okay.
You know, that's not, and Derek, we forgot to do our disclaimer.
Y'all need it. Y'all need
We're ready in it. We're ready in it. But sometimes when you're dealt less consequences, it gives you that bravado to say I can do what I want to do.
Facts.
Because ain't nothing gonna happen. Right? So you get somebody to go to court and they're not really getting charged the way that they're getting charged. They're just gonna continue to behave it because ain't nothing happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? Now we've seen videos of men getting beat up in public, right? Have we all seen those videos? I know I've seen them.
Yeah.
They did public experiments where, you know, you'll have men getting beat up and, you know, people be laughing and joking, ha ha ha, you know. But then when somebody approach a woman and even yelling and screaming and pointing in their face, you know, men come to, you know, the rescue.
Rescue.
I mean, but we've had shows before where we spoke on, we can see a man getting beat up in public and nobody will come to his rescue. Not his sisters, not his aunties, not the, mamas, or maybe the mamas. If the mama's there, they're gonna be like, you ain't gonna be hitting on my baby. But if they're not there, nobody really comes to the man's rescue. I mean, it's like, he's a man, he's strong, he can take it. But at the same time, if he's a man and he's strong and he can take it, why would you buck up to him? But if a police is called, they both go into jail, even if it's self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the consequences are different. Going right back to consequences. I mean, you take rape. There's a lot of men that's if you look at the data, right now there's a lot of men, that's coming home from jail because of modern DNA. Because maybe a woman said, I was raped, I was hit, I was this, I was that, I was whatever. Which I had a conversation with you on how do we really address this as humans, not as the manhood and the womanhood, the sisterhood and the brotherhood, not as we attack it that way. Whatever's wrong is wrong. Whatever's right is right. If you got a bunch of, like I've seen, Derek, I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen a bunch of court cases where even, it was athletes, put in positions to whereas they were locked up because somebody lied and said that, oh, he raped me. And then 5 years down the line, it came out to be false. And they let him out of jail, but nothing happened to the woman.
Okay.
So the lack of accomplishment, the lack of consequences breeds that entitlement of, I can say what I want to say and do what I want to do because ain't nothing going to happen to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if that person, he raped me, but then it came out that it was false, and that person went to jail for 10 years, maybe you will get the people that's behind that person that may want to say the same thing because that person ain't want to be with me, or that person didn't want to treat me a certain way, or whatever was the reason. If they were dealt the hand that they were supposed to be dealt because of what they did, maybe the next people coming behind them won't try to do the same thing because they understand the consequences, which breeds accountability.
Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with nothing that you're saying, but that has to happen. And you're right; it's not a lot of consequences for us. I'm not going too deep into it, but it is not a lot of consequences for us. So yeah, we do sometimes walk around with a certain type of entitlement to say, do whatever we want to do. But sometimes there is consequences that we may not like. But you can't blame somebody for that consequence. If you started it, like let's say you hit a dude, the dude turned around and hit your ass back. You can't be mad at the dude because he smacked you back. You smacked him first. Is everybody gonna think that it's wrong? Maybe because he a man, you a woman. But that's the consequences for putting your hands on somebody. Your
Yeah,
ass.
I don't agree with it, but that's accountability.
Yeah, you might get hit the hell back. So now after you got smacked by this dude, now keep your hands to yourself. Don't put your hands on. Stop putting your hands on people because people fight back, and they don't give a damn that you're a woman. They're gonna hit your ass back.
I see Derek shaking his head, and what you got, Derek? Let's go.
Nothing at all. I agree completely. But accountability is on both sides of the road. We find it more often in women, but or we may see attributes of it from women, but men are just as guilty as not being held to accountability. To that level of accountability they have. Men, we utilize the we utilize it as well when we talk about job fairness. Uh job fairness and the ability to get a job, and we uh at some points even the conversation of racism can show pieces of non accountability, have pieces of non accountability present. So it may get used in another in other, we may see the word being used in other situations, but they ever yet present.
What do you mean by the job thing? Just for clarity.
Yeah, when you have someone who goes into the job market and say, "Oh, they're not really trying to hire me. Ain't nobody trying to hire me because I'm an ex convict, or nobody really trying to hire me because I'm a black man." But the reality is, people are not hiring you because you have a big gap on your
Yeah.
resume. But we don't take that in as accountability, and we a lot of times we try to use that as a way to let people know, okay, this person is racist. Where even if they were, this may not be the best time to show that to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was addressed a little bit because now you have felony friendly companies that will hire
Yeah.
felons, and they even took in some out of some jails, they took getting degrees out of some jails. But they do have felony friendly corporations that will hire felons, that's getting out, where because I truly believe, even in tap into that, and I mean, I don't want to make it on a grander scale. Jail is supposed to be for rehabilitation, not for just punishment.
Absolutely.
Right? It's supposed to be a punishment and to rehabilitate you to come back into the world as a citizen, so you can be a model citizen to add to society. So they were supposed to help you, but they take some of that stuff away and dig into the punishment side of it. So I can understand that. I definitely could.
Yeah. But then it's like, all right, who holds who accountable? Do we hold each other accountable? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the only person that can hold a person accountable is yourself. You can tell me about myself all damn day. People do it all the time. But ask me if I give a damn. I know what I do. Okay. I know exactly what I do, when I do it, and how I do it. And I hold myself very much so accountable for the stuff that I do. But like I said, I'm Queen Patty at times. But
I get it.
I hold myself accountable for the stuff that I do. But if you take it like I'm attacking you or I'm defending my actions, maybe I am. I am defending my poor actions because I know deep down inside that what I did was wrong, but I ain't about to let you know that it was wrong. So I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down and I'm gonna defend it. That's
Because
you.
there's no consequences.
That's my toxic. That's my toxic trait.
But that's my thing. There's no consequences there.
Sometimes there could be consequences, but to me, it don't matter. I know exactly what I do.
I get it. We're talking on a grand scale, but
I know exactly who I'm doing it to. So what is for me, it is what it is because I know I hold myself accountable for the things that I do. Now, whether or not I choose to change how I
that's
treat,
what I was about to say. Okay.
is a different story. If I choose to change how I treat you, then that's what I choose to do. If I choose not to change how I treat you, then I'm not doing it. Because
That's
it's a reason.
then that's
It's
then
a
that's
reason
not
I'm
the
doing it to you.
then that's not the true circle of accountability.
It is because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing to you.
I mean, but true accountability is to make sure that it don't happen again.
I want it to happen again.
Then that's just being petty, it ain't.
I'm talking about individually.
I hear you, but
change my behavior. Like if I continuously do something to Derek, for instance, and
As you do.
you know what, Derek?
we ain't doing that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. If I continuously do something to Derek, it's a reason why I continuously am doing this to Derek. If I do it to you and you get offended by it and I apologize for it and then I stop doing what I'm doing to you and I start treating you better than I do Derek, it's a reason behind it. I know what I'm doing and I will take full accountability and responsibility and I will take the consequences of my behavior. But as long as I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't give a damn what nobody got to say.
Then
it may not be nice, but oh well.
Then you're just creating a circle to continue. It's not being fixed. You're not fixing anything.
I ain't trying to fix it. I'm trying to make it like hell.
Then we ain't talking about accountability. You're just doing what you want to do.
I was taking accountability for the shit that I do to Terry.
Each time. Again and again and again and again and again.
The punishment for what I do to Derek every time.
Well, maybe the punishment ain't as strict as it should be.
Straight.
like take this, right? There's something called baby boxes or birth boxes, right? That they put in firehouses and police departments, right? And if a woman have a baby, she can drop that baby off and have no accountability at all. You don't have to be held accountable financially, physically, nothing. Right? That's it. The father ain't got nothing to do with it. But the father can never wipe himself away from any responsibility where the woman could. So let's say if that woman, even if she dropped that baby off, she was held responsible and accountable and had to pay child support until that baby, wherever that baby went, she had to pay child support for that baby till that baby got 18 or whenever the child support ended. Do you think some of that would change, or maybe how we choose to move sexually?
Maybe for some. It would change for some, but not for all.
It's changing for some is a change.
Yeah, that's why I say it'll change for some, but not for all, because some women wouldn't mind going on ahead and just having to pay for their kid and letting the father raise them.
I mean, but that's my point. If a woman chooses to drop the baby off in a baby box, it excludes the father anyway. Now the father has to fight to get the baby.
If you want it.
But the father doesn't have that same right. He can never say, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like the mother could, but the father doesn't have that right to say, no, I don't want anything to do with this baby. Leave me out of it. But the mother can say, I don't want nothing to do with this baby. Leave me out of it. That's lack of I keep saying that, I'm sorry. Lack of consequences breeds entitlement.
It does. It definitely it's just like Pinky said, people don't realize that actions have consequences, and some get mad at the consequences. And that is, and I get what you're saying, because yeah, a woman can be, if she gives it away, then nobody's responsible except for the person that takes the child.
This is true. This is true. That's why I said the father have to fight. And let me be clear. I don't want people to have to go through strict consequences, but we also need true accountability to where certain actions change. Because remember, we went over that data of DNA testing, right? And it came back through diagnostics that 30 to 40% of all DNA tests come back not the testing fathers.
Mm-hmm.
But some women knew that the father wasn't the father, but
Yeah.
they continued to receive child support.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the accountability in that? Because now the father has to fight to get off of child support, even though they know that it's not the father's child.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to go to court, and the judge can say, no, you're still going to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing happens to that woman that says, yeah, I knew, but
Yeah, but you gotta look at it too. Some consequences are out of your control. Like the consequences, that's like something that has to deal with, like, government and things like that. In order for that man to be able to go and take somebody to court and get his money back, or sue her to get his money back, or whatever. Some things are just out of your control, because we all have choices that we still have to make just as well when it even comes to accountability. Because you can't force a person to take accountability for their actions. You can call somebody out on it. It's just like a lot of people say
that's not true.
that women don't hold women accountable for their actions. Sometimes some women do hold women accountable for their actions, but it's still up to that person. I could call you out as many times as I want to, but if you're not willing to change, then you're not willing to change, and I can't make you do that. That's out of my control. Like I've said what I said to you. If you continue to do what you do, then you're just gonna continue to do what you do. And I'm not gonna keep wasting my breath saying the same things and being repetitive over and over again. That shit is irritating.
I hear you, but I kind of disagree. And I only disagree on the sense of when you have women that take men through that course of action, where you know that this child not yours, right? And you've got payment, and that's why I say, like, sometimes we side with who we side with. We play the gender wars and this, that, and the third. I'm a firm supporter of women, just the same as I'm a men's advocate. We have to deal with humanity the way that we deal with humanity. But right is right and wrong is wrong. So if you have this woman that's dragging this man along, knowing that this man is not the child's father, but they're bleeding this person of his. I've seen one guy have, he spent 5 years in jail.
Mm-hmm.
5 years in jail. And then it came out to not be his child. And when they went to court, the mother said, yeah, I knew that he wasn't the father.
Mm-hmm. I think
where's the consequences?
I get
they
that.
Didn't lock her up. They didn't lock her up. They didn't make her pay that child support back. They're not. So my point is, let me say it and then you can have it. If you start saying, if you knowingly did this and you took on this money, you're going to receive the same consequences that he received, and you're going to pay this money back. Things may change a little bit, because now they may say, like, oh, no, I ain't going to play with the court system, because if I screw this person over and they find that I'm guilty of it, I may go to jail. Mm-hmm. But because you don't have any consequences for these actions, you're getting a lot of these men that's going through the court system getting railroaded, because 30 to 40% of all DNA tests, that's millions of men. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And I get it, but isn't it is and so just like Pinky said, isn't it both their fault?
Not if you know that I'm not the person's dad.
Yeah, but
If
what
you
responsibility? Okay, now with that, okay,
yeah,
I know that you ain't my kid's father, but I
yes,
tell you that you my kid's father. You
yes.
choose to believe me that this is your kid,
Okay,
right? I take you to court for child support.
okay.
Before anything, you can't ask. You don't ask for a DNA test.
Sometimes DNA test comes months and months and maybe a couple years later. Things don't happen like right
Yes, but
now.
this is what I'm asking you. Can when you go to court for child support, and if you want to be definitely sure before this goes down on a piece of paper, and I'm mandated to pay this money, you're not gonna ask for a DNA test. You're just gonna pay the money. You're just gonna go
You're
to the
still obligated to pay the
okay,
money.
but you're gonna get a DNA test, right?
Yes, but a DNA test can take months and years.
I, I,
It's not that it can happen. Just because you say in a court, hey, I want a DNA test, you're not going to get a DNA test that day.
I understand that part. You're not going to get it that day, but
Yeah.
it will be mandated for you to take it and for her to bring the child so the child can take it. It's mandated by the courts for you to do that.
Yeah.
And
But
then
you can adjourn, you can miss courts. The baby was sick. Like people play games. People play games.
But
Next
eventually
thing you know,
you're going to have to get that DNA test.
yeah, they will. They will. But what I'm saying is by the time that I get the test, right? And I get the test and file for a motion for a new court date, it may be 2 years. A lot of people have these conversations, but they don't know how the court system works. You may your court date may be you.
That's why I'm not saying that I know. I'm asking questions because I feel like
No. That's why I'm answering. It's not an attack at you. It's just explaining the way that it works. You have to file a motion for these things, and if the docket, if the court dockets is in abundance, you may not get a court date for 8 months. But you're paying child support for all of that time. And then let's say the baby gets sick. Now you pushed it even further. And now you'd have lost your job. And then in New Jersey, in Passaic County, there's a 2-week holdback. So if you don't pay your child support for 2 weeks, you go to jail, you lose your license, you lose your passport. So now you lose your license. Maybe you got a job where you drive. So now you can't work. So now the arrears is backing up. But you knew that you were lying.
You done paid your child support.
You knew you were lying this whole time. That's the focus. You knew you were lying the whole time. Now, once it come out,
and I get that part.
So it ain't a thing of both of you guys. If we were consensual and we had sex, and it's a possibility for me to have this child to be mine. But the conversation that we're having right now that I'm shaping to you is you knew this baby wasn't mine. You knew it wasn't. But you railroaded me because you knew I had a couple dollars or you wanted the child support.
And that definitely does happen.
Should that person, if that person was held accountable and maybe sent to jail or given fines or had to pay back that money?
Why can't the father hold her? But I'm asking, why can't the father hold her accountable? Why can't the father now knowing that this is not your child, you paid X amount of dollars and you got the proof that you paid X amount of dollars for this child while waiting for a paternity test or whatever the situation may be, you can't take that mother to court and say, now I want my money back?
What they're going to do is say what's for the betterment of the child. So you can go to court. You can take that person to court. But it's up to the judge. That's why I said I kind of not agree, because the judge can force the mother or the father to do what they want them to do. So if the judge say you need to pay that man back his money, then that's the case. Do it happen? I've never seen that happen. Not saying that it didn't happen, but I've never seen that happen. But if you start seeing that happen, and this is what I'm asking, I'm not on either side. I'm on the side of, justice and truth and fairness. If that was to happen and the woman knew that this wasn't this man's job, I was already pregnant when I started dealing with him, but I dragged him along. Should she be penalized? Because if she was penalized and maybe jailed or had to pay the money back, then true accountability comes into play. Because now maybe women won't follow that narrative because they know that there's consequences there that's going to be put in place. So she don't want to go to jail and do such things again and again and again and again. So the judge can do that. So the next woman don't follow the same narrative. Because, shorty right there, she went to jail for this. Maybe I need to be more, because we see it. We see the shows. You are not the father. You are not the father.
I'm not saying it does not happen.
Yeah, of course. We see it all the time. You are not the father. 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 We see it all the time.
Got it still, but at the end of the day, I get the part that you're saying. The person knows that I'm not the father of this kid, and I do get that part, and I get that point that you're making. But when it comes to the accountability of how that child came into this world, that's both y'all. Both of y'all held accountable for that, because both.
No, I'm not the father. I'm not the father. How am I accountable if I'm not the father?
At the end of the day, the only reason why you're sitting there because you had sex with a person unprotected. That's the only reason why you're a potential person to be a father of a kid, is because you sat there and you had sex with this woman and you did it unprotected.
I agree. But if you know that you had sex with multiple men, this is my point. You had sex with multiple men.
Yes.
And you knew you were pregnant when I started dealing with you.
Okay.
You knew you were pregnant. I said that already. You knew you were pregnant when I started dealing with you. But you came and dragged me along and told me I was the father. Should you be held accountable? And if you was held accountable and you were given consequences, maybe this doesn't happen no more.
I get what you're saying, but is for me.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that over there. I'm talking about this right here. If a woman knows that this man is not the father, that's what I'm talking about. If the woman know that this man is not the father, but she dragged him along, should there be consequences?
There should be consequences. I'm never saying that it's not going to be that it shouldn't be consequences. What I'm saying is we can't just act like is just one person's.
You going back to that? That's not what I'm talking about.
What I'm saying is everybody got to be held accountable. You can't. You cannot take accountability away from the man and just put it all on the woman either. Everybody has to be held accountable in that circle.
I'm sorry, but
yes, is it worse on the man? Absolutely.
I disagree if the woman knows I'm not the father. If you know I'm not this child's father, then I disagree, because we didn't have to go through all this. I didn't have to go to jail. I didn't have to, go through the testing and this. I'm not this child's father.
In that position to make yourself a potential person that she could pick and say, you the daddy.
I believe you pandering to the sisterhood. I truly believe that, because I think I'm saying it very clear that you pregnant right now.
Don't do that.
Not you. Not you.
Don't even make that as a joke. Don't make me.
Not you. Not you. I'm just speaking. I'm just speaking in general. A woman is pregnant right now. Right? A woman is pregnant right now. She started dealing with a new person. How can you hold that new person accountable for you already being pregnant?
I understand what you're saying.
You're already pregnant.
Because I understand what you're saying. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I am saying, yes, it should be a consequence for it. But you also have to understand that you put yourself in that position.
What
Because
position?
because
I didn't get her pregnant.
Because you put yourself in that position, because you're the one that still has, even though you may not have known she was pregnant at the time, you still had sex with a person unprotected.
I get that.
So
I get that.
You can say you are the father because we had sex unprotected, and now she looking at you to be the daddy.
But she's lying. But she's lying.
She is lying, but you don't know that she's lying until later on down
that
the line.
Don't matter.
What I'm saying is, don't put yourself into that type of situation. If you know that this is
I get that.
The person that you want to spend the rest of your life with and have kids
Iris,
with,
trust me, I get that. I get that.
Come free.
I get that. I get that. The end all be all is she lied.
Don't do that, Pinky. See, you see what you did, Sean? Look what Pinky said.
I think we're taking accountability from exactly what we were talking about.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not taking accountability away.
She should have said from day one, she should have said, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, she should have. She should have.
And that eliminates everything.
Yeah, it does. If that's what she did. But she didn't. That's what I'm saying. You can hold the person accountable for the things that you do, for the things that they do that you know that they're doing, but you can't force that upon somebody. That's up to the person. So yes, I may know that I'm pregnant, but
that's my point. That's my point. That's my point. If they locked her ass up, you would see this happen lesser and lesser and lesser. And this is my point to a lot of sisters. Your nephews, your cousins, your brothers, your fathers, they may go through this less than they do now. Because the reason why, hold up. The reason why they go through it now, and I'm just talking about the deception. I'm not talking about, because I may come into this wanting to be with you and have a life with you and have a child with you, but it's the deception is what I'm talking about.
The deception should be held accountable for.
So if there were more consequences, because there's a lot of women that walk away with no consequences.
That is
absolutely, and that's what breeds the entitlement and unaccountability, because I can do what I want to do and say what I want to say. And that's not how the world works.
It's not. But we also have to remember too that we have to take accountability for the shit that we do.
I get it.
And that's the only thing that I'm saying, is that we have to take accountability for the actions that we take. So therefore, if you don't want to be put in that position for somebody to say, you my baby daddy, I'm taking for this, or if you don't want to have to pay child support, then your actions have to be something different.
No, it's intentions. If I come with good intentions, if I come to you with good intentions as a good man, I'm a good man that's coming to you with good intentions, and you come back with deception, that's like a man being married, right? A man being married and his wife is in one city and he come and deal with you and you're in another city. I'm gonna say you wrong, bro. I don't care if she came to you and whatever, you led her down the road, a path of destruction, and you dead wrong. I'm not gonna put nothing on her because she came with good intentions.
But why?
A lot of this is about intentions.
Exactly, but why wouldn't you? Just because she came with good intentions,
because she didn't come with no bullshit.
I understand that part. She may not have came with no BS, and he may have ran her through the mud, through the dirt, drags her under a car. That's all. It's all understandable, and it should always It's accountability there too. But that woman also got to take accountability for accepting and allowing that man to drag her through the mud.
If you don't know, you don't know. That's like you being with somebody. That's like
if a man is dragging you through the mud, how you don't know?
No. I'm not talking about dragging you through the mud. I'm talking about if you meet a man and he's saying that he's an upstanding man, but he's deceptive. He's being deceptive, but you don't know. I'm not gonna fault that woman. She doing what she's supposed to do as a woman. And that happens all the time with, I ain't gonna say all the time, but with these down low dudes. Like, no, you knew you was bi or down low, and then now you sleeping with this other, this dude, and now you infected this woman. I'm not gonna fault the woman because she just thinks she got a man. Yeah, now it's
I'm saying because still at the end of the day,
I'm not gonna fault her.
Play at one point in time, but before we realize what we just got played with, whether homeboy getting diddied or not, okay, there's some flags there. Okay,
not necessarily so. You can't say that. That's subjective. You can't say that. There's some dudes.
It's some things.
Cousin, that's some dudes. It's some dudes out here. I truly believe that you will never know. You'll never know. I heard some stories. I heard some stories. I heard some stories. You'll never know. And then boom. Oh shit. It done went left. So I'm not gonna hold. I believe in intentions.
Even when Diddy was trying to say he wasn't doing what he was doing,
I ain't gonna touch that. I am not touching that. Let's not touch it. Leave it alone. I'm waving a white flag. Leave it alone. I'm gonna wave it. Flag right here. This ain't even a flag.
Nothing wrong if you got Diddy, but hey, it is what it is.
Nah. But I truly believe in intentions. If you got a woman that's coming with good intentions, you got a woman that's coming in. You got a woman that's coming with good intentions, and she's doing what she's supposed to do, and a man is doing what he's supposed to do on the surface. On the surface, but he's deceptive over there. I'm not gonna blame her. There may not be any red flags. There may not be anything.
Maybe.
There's a lot of men that in the history they had other families, whole families in another city, and the family found out when he died.
Did he? I understand now.
So I'm not gonna hold them, because if somebody had the intentions on, I met her, I met him, and I want to build a life with this person. I don't have any thoughts of this person being deceptive. They're not showing me anything.
Who does?
There's some. There's, like you said, there's red flags sometimes, but we choose not to see them. Or I can change this. I can change this person, or I can make this person do what I want them to do. We've seen that.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about the person. I'm talking about the person that takes advantage of the other person that is in it for the right reasons and is deceptive. If there were heavier consequences, you would see lesser of that. But I just understand on a woman's side, because I've seen men go through this. I've seen men talk about like I know somebody personally that dealt with the rape situation, and it came out to be false. She didn't go to jail. The child didn't go to jail. They didn't go to jail, but it was a lie.
I do think when people cry rape, I think there should be a consequence.
Yeah, but it don't happen. It don't happen.
It is not
true. This man's life is just
because of the man, but because also, you make it 10 times harder for a woman to be believed when she actually do get raped. I get it. It should always be consequences to deception. Yes, it should be. Whoever part, it don't matter who part it is, it should always be a consequence. Sometimes it should be a consequence to it.
I think the consequence.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is we can't always just take accountability away
I think the consequences for the person that
situation.
I'm sorry. I think the consequences for the person that had good intentions, whether it's a man or a woman, is my time, my efforts. I lost that.
Mm-hmm.
I put something into this person, and now I lost all of those things, and I'm hurt by it. And I may be pregnant, or I may have this, or I may have that, or I may dealt with this, or I may dealt with that. I may have to fight this person and fight that person and whatever. I believe that's the consequences of the person that wasn't deceptive and had true intentions. But I can't hold the person that had real true intentions on a relationship and somebody else was deceptive and there was no red flags. I can't hold that person accountable. They was looking for the right thing and to do the right thing.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying that they didn't. And like I said, I don't disagree with the consequence thing when it comes to accountability. It should always be some type of consequence when it comes to accountability.
But that's what I mean. It's not. And that's the
change behavior. It should always be something when it comes to accountability, depending on what the situation is. Because
it's not. That's the problem. And that's the reason why it continues.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lack of accountability in consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Because consequences can change a lot of things.
It can.
It can change a lot of things. Like that's like us. And I blame us as men. Because when men screw up, right? When men screw up, you already know we got to come with the flowers and the dinners and the trips and the coats. And we come with all of that stuff. When a woman screw up, she come with coochie.
Perjury is a crime, but never enforced.
Don't act like you don't hear what I said.
I heard what you said. I don't come with none of the above because I ain't sorry for shit I do.
That's even worse. That's even worse. That's even worse.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Even the apology is different between men and women.
Y'all know I'm only playing. I
No,
care.
she's not. Trust me, she's not.
Yes, I do. It depends on who the person is. my Karen is definitely situation. Lord, look, the Lord is still working on me. Okay, but it depends on who it is. That's it. That's all. And I've been saying that. At least I'm keeping it 100. Didn't we had this conversation last night, y'all?
I already said that. We had to talk.
We not this conversation last night. And
coming from as soon as I landed from Jamaica, got in the car, we eventually had a conversation. Where my boy Derek at? What happened?
He went to sleep.
So we'll have a part 2.
No, we won't.
We got to bring him back in. It's an hour already.
No, he's sleeping. I ain't waking him up.
I'm talking about next week or the week after. We'll have part 2 and bring him in on it.
Oh gosh. Yes, our is up, and me and Sean can argue about this debate. I ain't gonna say argue.
We ain't even no debate.
Debate about this forever in the day. It's sometimes you gotta get under Sean's skin, because then when you get under his skin, he really be coming for you.
That's terrible. I'm out. I feel attacked.
And you should. But we thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for viewing us. As I said before, we are coming up on our 5-year anniversary in February. So hopefully we could do something a little different, and
we're gonna film from my house with dinner.
Sean,
we're gonna film from
a Candid Conversations dinner for our 5th anniversary.
And we're gonna film from my house.
No, it's not a cookout, Pinky. It's not a cookout.
You're gonna have a cookout in February in New Jersey.
It is not a cookout. But we are going to invite some of our previous co-hosts and some of our very loyal viewers that have been rocking with us from day one till now. And we're going to have dinner, and then we'll go live, and we're going to have a great conversation and celebrate Candid Conversations' 5th year of existing. So I don't know how we're going to pick the viewer part just yet, but we'll see.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, because I think on Facebook and on Instagram stuff, they give you like the top badges and all sorts of stuff. But we'll figure it out, and then y'all will personally get an invitation either through y'all get a personal invitation from us to come to the dinner, and do the live as well. But so that's one thing that's coming up. And I just wanted to say, thank y'all for tuning in and hanging with us every Tuesday for the past 5 years, almost 5 years. Oh, I love y'all. So we will see y'all next week, same time. Hopefully next week will be on time. And Derek will be more around. Because
I say peace and let's get back to family.
Let's get back to being ourselves. Hold yourselves accountable for your own shit. And it's okay to get under people's skin on purpose. Okay? Derek
Whatever.
Pinky. Derek need more than some damn milk.
I'm out.
Good night, everybody.